He's in outside of Sacramento, and it was a great show. We had a great night, and at the end of the show, I left the next day, stayed overnight at their place, and left the next day. And the guy that runs his name is Burgie, and he hands me a Yeti, and he goes, "Thanks for playing Burgie's," and he hands me this Yeti, and it says Burgie's on it. And I threw it in my passenger seat, and I drive around by myself. I have a great tour manager, Matt, it's back there, but Matt drives himself. We drive separate, and then we meet up at the gigs. That's our arrangement. And so I would drive by myself, and my passenger seat is just a place where things pile up over the course of a run. You know, it just gets more and more stuff in it. And so I said thank you, and I threw the Yeti on the side, and didn't think much about it, and drove all through Idaho and Colorado and crossed. And I was coming across the plains, and I get to Missouri. I was in the middle of Missouri, and this cop pulls me over. And I could tell right away, immediately, that he was going to search the car. You just know it, you know, the first two questions they ask, he's going to search the car. And I wasn't worried about it at all, because I travel pretty clean. And I said, yeah, man, you can help yourself. And so we did, and he'd take me back to his car in the meantime. And so I was sitting in his car, and we'd been talking for a while, and then he said, so he said, "I'm gonna search your car," and he goes up and does it. I'm not thinking anything about it. I'm just sitting back there waiting for this to be over. And he comes back, he goes, "You wanna tell me about that coffee cup full of weed you got in your passenger seat?" And I said, "Coffee cup? I don't have a coffee cup in my car." And he said, and then he looks at me, and I swear to God, that's what he goes, "You fucking with me, son?" And I said, "I don't have no idea what you're talking about." And he goes up and he comes back, and he's got this Burgie's Yeti, and he opens it up, and it is to the brim full of weed. That's what he could get, but I didn't know. I just threw the Yeti in the passenger seat, and I'd been so careful driving through all the states, you know, and this whole time I had a big Yeti full of weed in my passenger seat, you know? And I think the only reason I got out of it was because he saw the genuine shock on my face when he opens this thing and it's that full. And so he goes, "I'm gonna keep searching your car out." And then I figured out later, like, the reason he kind of let me go, he said something very telling. He said, he goes, "I'm gonna let you go because you didn't have that much." And I thought, okay, you're looking for the big score, because that seems like a lot to me for the cop to find. In Texas, if a cop found a Yeti full of weed, I would be in prison right now. Yeah, this guy let me go. He was cool. But that's a true story. I really didn't know it was in there. One day I'm going to tell a story, and I hope that cop is at a show so he knows that I'm not lying. Yeah, Burgie, man. I told him that story last year. He said, the guy that gave it to me, he said, "Oh yeah, I guess I should have told you." Way down in Mississippi, I got the music in my bones. I'll take you there if you wanna come with me. I wanna go back home. I wanna go back home. Mama and Daddy always had something going when we was home or driving around. The very first thing that I remember is singing along to the country sound. Way down in Mississippi, I got the music in my bones. I'll take you there if you wanna come with me. I wanna go back home. I wanna go back home. We went to church with jumping and shouting, singing hallelujah and clapping hands. I joined in with that choir singing, but they were gonna join that angel band. And way down in Mississippi, I got the music in my bones. I'll take you there if you wanna come with me. go back home. I wanna go back home. Tuesday nights we'd all get together, sang around Stanley and Bill Monroe. I still love that bluegrass pick and learn to sing high lonesome way down low. Way down in Mississippi, I got music in my bones. I'll take you there if you wanna come with me. I wanna go back home. I wanna go back home. Well, I grew up and I started playing, and it ain't Mississippi without the blues. Everything changed